Hello, second grade writers. Today we're going to start our very first writing lesson for Unit 1, Module A. The theme of this unit is understanding communities. So the two stories that we will be reading and writing about are first, Trouble at the Sandbox, and then after that in the text collection we will be reading Snowshoe Hare's Winter Home. Lesson 1. Describe characters. So the writer includes details about the character's actions, thoughts, and feelings to make the characters interesting to the reader. A writer shows relationships among different characters by showing how the characters interact or act with each other. So here are some questions to think about. What characters did you learn about in the pages you read? How does the writer describe Theo, Izzy, Josh? What have you learned about the characters from their interactions with each other? Let's find ways that a writer shows relationships by showing how characters interact. Sometimes other kids would join them, but most of the time they had it to themselves. Theo didn't mind sharing, but it was better when they had more room. So the writer begins to show some of Theo's thoughts by telling the reader that Theo didn't mind sharing. Izzy dug out the sand with a plastic spade. So a spade is like a little shovel used for digging. She was making a river for the volcano. As she dug, Theo and Josh loaded the trucks up with sand. So the writer provides the reader with examples of how well Theo, Josh, and Izzy worked together. We will write a narrative about Theo and his interactions with Izzy and Josh. Remember to think about what Theo's interactions with others say about him as a character. Here are some guiding questions to help us. What will Theo's interaction with Izzy and Josh be about? Where will this narrative take place? What are some key details I read about Theo that will help me write about how he would interact with Izzy and Josh? Let's look here at the model. As I look for details about how Theo interacts with his friends, I see that he is helpful, he shares, and he seems to enjoy playing, especially in the sandbox. I need to think about what we all agreed upon as a class when I'm writing about Theo, Izzy, and Josh and the interaction the three of them have with one another. So here could be our class story. Theo arrived at school to find that Izzy and Josh were already there. He walked up to them and said hi. Izzy and Josh stopped talking and said hi at the same time to Theo. There was still some time before school started, so Izzy asked Theo and Josh if they wanted to go play. So in your online writing journal under Google Docs, you're going to go to Lesson 1, and you're going to be typing in your response. So I'll be able to see and read your response and make comments back to you. So for Lesson 1, the directions say to reread. So this prefix re means to do something again. So you're going to go back and read again pages 2 to 5 of Trouble at the Sandbox. Then write a paragraph about how Theo might respond to a classmate other than Izzy or Josh. Use key details from the text to help you. So for this response, I'm going to help you. I'll give you a sentence starter and then you can add on. So remember, I always want to use a capital letter for someone's name. It's a proper noun. So Theo might respond to another classmate by being friendly. So we know that Theo's friendly. We saw in the text that he doesn't mind sharing and he likes to help others. So what else can you add on to this response? How else might Theo interact with a classmate other than Izzy or Josh? Okay, so please type in your response under Lesson 1 and I will be reading it. Please let me know if you have any questions on my Google Classroom. Thank you.